Hello, beautiful souls. So I want to try to make sure that I'm looking where I'm supposed to be looking. Okay, I'm doing this on my phone because I'm tired of my computer making that noise every time I go to... Just give me 1 second here. All right, so I don't know. I'm not maybe gonna see if you guys are saying anything, but if you're here, say hi. And if you're watching this later, say hashtag replay. And I just want to say thank you for being here. I've been a little bit absent here again lately. Life has been very busy, but I wanted to pop on because what I'm about to tell you is what I see all the time, and it's a huge detriment to our growth, to our expansion, to succeeding in whatever we want to succeed in life. And it's going to sound cliche, but I'm telling you, it comes out in the sneakiest ways. And that is being judgmental of yourself. Being hard on yourself, being judgmental of yourself. So let me give you an example. So one thing that I see a lot, especially from people that are, have been doing work on themselves in a personal growth journey for a long time, a spiritual journey, etc. One of the sneaky ways judgment comes in is, in fact, I saw it in this group recently, is to say, well, I should know better. Like something happens, you have some sort of an emotion that doesn't feel pleasant, and you say, I should know better than this. It happened last night at my workshop that I did here in Dubuque. I did an energy healing and nervous system healing workshop, and it happened there. This woman was talking, and she's like, we were kind of trying to drag up some of the negative self-talk or where this woman was feeling stuck, and she's like, I tell myself in the mirror every day or often that I'm ugly and that I'm fat. And to look at her, you would think she's insane. She's gorgeous. But this is what she tells herself. And she goes, and I know better. And so what happens when we do that is the mind gives us something from the body usually. Like the body's feeling uncomfortable, or it's like some negative thought, but there's a reason for the negative thoughts too, sometimes. In her case, when we dug a little deeper, she had been bullied a lot for being bigger when she was younger. So her nervous system is now wired that like, I have to look a certain way in order to get love and attention. So the body will often give us these signals that something's off, and our mind just goes, well, you should know better. We're having some emotion about something, and we tell ourselves, well, you should know better than to act that way. You should know better than to feel that way. You shouldn't be pissed off right now. You know better than to be pissed off. And it's like the body's going, hey, there's something wrong here. Something is off. Please listen to me. And you're going, no. And then we're scrolling, or we're drinking wine, or we're smoking, or we're eating, and so the coping mechanisms come out, and then we wonder why we just keep cycling like this. We have to cut out the fucking judgment. It's toxic. It's learned. It's a trauma response. It's probably how somebody talked to you. I mean, even just those words, you should know better. I mean, who says that, right? A very stern parent, you should know better than to do that. So now that becomes your operating system. But it is detrimental to your health, like to constantly, and I did it too for so long. If we have a physical issue in our body, like I had chronic fatigue, I hated that. I hated feeling the way that I felt. I should have felt better. I told myself for years, you should have more energy. You should be able to do more. What's wrong with you? How do you think that made the problem? Did it help the problem? No, it didn't help the problem. It just made it worse. The judgment, the self-judgment is fucking toxic. The telling yourself you should be something other than what you are in this moment is fucking toxic. It's detrimental to your health. It's detrimental to your body. It's detrimental to your life mission. It's detrimental to your dreams. So if anybody's watching and has any specific mindset stuff or judgment stuff that comes up for you, I'm curious. I don't know that I can see any of those comments because I'm doing this a different way this time. And you know how technology goes sometimes, but anyway, I'll see them later and I will respond. But that's the biggest thing, is it's really hard for me to hear the judgments that I hear from people about themselves. And it's little things that are actually really big. So yeah, that's pretty much all today's message is we have to be way more fucking kind to ourselves. And to give you a reframe, you know, whatever is physically going on with you, whether it's fatigue, whether it's an illness, whether it's an emotional space you're in that's uncomfortable, what if you looked at that as your body was trying to protect you? Your nervous system is trying to protect you. It's not trying to punish you. But we're like, I was for many years with the chronic fatigue, like, why, body? Why are you doing this to me? Why can't you have better energy? Why? We're eating the superfoods. We're taking the supplements. We're working out. What more do you need? I was like yelling at it like my mom used to yell at me. And my body is just an animal. Your body is just an animal. It's like yelling at your cat or dog, you know, your cat for meowing. It's like they're just walking around meowing. Like they don't give an F what you think about their meowing. They're walking around meowing because that's what they want to do. Your body is an animal. And that's why so many of us are so afraid, and why I was so afraid for so long to look into my body. Because it's primal, it's instinctual, and that stuff is not societally accepted in a lot of ways. So we are trying to machine and robot our way through life. I tried to blast myself through life and achieve and achieve and achieve and achieve and achieve, and put pressure on and pressure and pressure and pressure and do more, do more, do more. And eventually my body, you know, it had been giving me signs, but eventually it's like, sorry, Charlie, we are checked out. And we know from any of the videos you've watched from me recently that autoimmune disorders, chronic issues like chronic fatigue, chronic pain, sleep disturbances, thyroid issues, hormonal imbalances, those are all very much directly connected to childhood trauma. So until we learn how to work with our nervous system and the cues it's trying to give us, and work with any kind of fears that come up because our nervous system is just trying to protect us because something similar happened in your past, then we're just going to keep fighting an upward battle. I really tried to fight that battle for a long time, and it got me nowhere. It just made me more sick. It wasn't until I started learning how to be in my motherfucking body that things started to change. But it wasn't easy. because there's a lot of pain in there, there's a lot of torment, there's a lot of distress, there's a lot of discomfort. And so I just have to like keep trudging through, and then a new thing will come up, and then I just have to keep trudging through. So all of that to say is we got to get back in our body. We have to learn. It's a painful journey, and it's a scary journey at times, but you will see so much change on the other side. And so leave me a note in the comments of kind of like what this is bringing up for you, because this is really the message that wanted to flow through you. And Julie, I saw that Julie's on here, and she can attest that I was just messaging her not that long ago about how like there's another pain bubble bubbling up for me because I'm launching a new program. And so I've learned data, right? We're just collecting data about ourselves. We're not going to get this right. We're not going to be perfect at this. It's not like you do a nervous system practice once and you're golden. That's not how this works. Your body's an animal. It sees a potential threat and it reacts to potential threat. The problem with trauma is that from our past is that we're wired to react to certain threats that aren't really threats. But it takes a while to unravel that. So I have I'm launching a new program, so new pain has come forward. I've started to realize that this is a common thread for me. This is where my nervous system reacts because we're putting ourselves out there in a different way and therefore leaving ourselves up for attack. Because that's happened to me in my past because of bullying and so on and so forth. So let me know what this is bringing up for you, how this is landing for you. And there's going to be some new ways to work with me around this kind of stuff in the future. But for now, I'm very excited to share that my nervous system reset program is open for enrollment. I'm not sure it's going to be coming out exactly in the timeline and in terms of coming out in terms of the content in the timeline that my mind thought it should, that my ego thought it should. It's taking a little more time, but it is open. And there's a special price that's an early bird price that's just until August 23rd. So that's next Tuesday. And then the price is going to go up, I think like $50 or something. So if it's like, you're like, I want to learn, this scares the shit out of me, but I want to learn how to get out of my head and get into my body and have some practices that I can come back to and to work through some of the physical issues I may be having in my body, or I get so scattered and overwhelmed and I can't make decisions and I get stuck in that kind of spin, this program is for you. If you're feeling like, if you've had PTSD from childhood, if you've had some childhood trauma, this program is for you because guaranteed you don't know how to live in your body. I didn't. It's still a work in progress. It might be a work in progress for the rest of my life because I have almost 42 years of training myself to live in my head. So this program isn't like it's not gonna like miraculously solve all of your problems, but it's meant to be a program to come back to. And in my case, a lot of my physical issues cleared up in about 4 months. Okay, 5 months. 4 months, 4.5, let's say 4.5, just by diligently doing this work. But it doesn't mean I stop. Like, it's now a part of my routine. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you want information, I'll leave a link below. You can check out the information. I've priced this at a price that I think is very doable. I could have priced it much higher, but I want more people to have access to this work because it's life-changing in my opinion. And it's going to give you a map, so you're going to have information to understand, because a big part of this is understanding which trauma response is your go-to and how to work through each trauma response. And tools and techniques to get out of your head, get back in your body, so that you can be more grounded, so that you can be more present, so that you can stop living in this spin that's all. That's all I have to say. I'm very passionate about this work right now, and I'm excited to share it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer those for you. And I hope you're having a great Friday and a great weekend, and practice being less judgmental on yourself. If you're saying, I should be, I know better, those are two key signs that you are in judgment. It's not, you don't need to know better. You shouldn't be doing anything other than where you are. Your body shouldn't be operating in any other way than it is, even if it's stuck in some physical illness. Your body's not the enemy. Let's stop making the body the enemy, and let's start finding some compassion, turning that around and saying, hey, my body's trying to speak to me. Hey, my body's just trying to protect me. And me beating it up and saying I should be somewhere else, I should be feeling something else, I know better than to be doing this action, is detrimental. Okay, that's all. I'd love to know how this landed. I hope you're having a great day.